Hey guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, we will see a few more interview questions of Splunk. In part 2, I had already shared a couple of questions as part of part 1. So I would recommend you to check those questions initially before you go into part 2. Alright, the first question in this video, we will see how do you configure search head cluster, explain the deployer. All right, so to answer this question, you need to have prerequisites like system requirements. Each member must run on its virtual machine. All machines must run on the same OS. All right, and also you need to have all members must run on the same version of Splunk Enterprise. Members must be connected over high speed internet. All right, the network should be fast, which means and there must be at least 3 members deployed to start a search head cluster, and it should also meet the replication factor scenario as well. And also you need to have a couple of more other system requirements. You can also talk about this. And when it comes to deployer is something to give you an understanding about a deployer. Okay, deployer, it's something which will help to distribute the configuration files or apps to the search head members. Okay, so actually before you configure the search head clustering, you will you will configure the deployer, because we'll be using the IP address of a deployer. All right, so that is typically what deployer is. And when it comes to search head, here you need to search head members configuration or deployer. You need to go to this is the command opt folder splunk etc system local and vi server.com. Server.com is where you will have all the indexes. All right, so also you need to meet the pass4 sim key, and also you need to restart the system because you had made changes in the configuration files, right? So you need to restart the system, and then you have to run you need to write a command like splunk init search head clustering, and then configuration authentication password, management URL, and you need to give replication port number, replication factor 3, all these details along with the deployer IP address. All right, 8089 is the port. So this is how you need to you will actually configure the search head clustering. So you need to explain every step one after the other when this question was asked, because this is sort of a question which will expect more detailed answer, as this is a scenario based one. All right, now let's move to next question. What are the stages of buckets in Splunk? Okay, buckets are directories of Splunk which stores data different stages. They are hot bucket, warm bucket, cold bucket, and frozen bucket. Okay, just to give you an easy understanding, what hot bucket does is basically the whatever new data comes in will be stored in hot bucket, and warm bucket, the data after the retention period gets complete, right? Generally Splunk stores the data from 24 hours, 12 a.m. to 12 p.m., right? So once the retention period gets complete, data rolled from hot bucket to a warm bucket. Okay, so that will be stored in the warm bucket. And a cold bucket, similarly the data rolling from the warm bucket will be there in cold bucket. All right, so till the data in the cold bucket, you will be able to search the data, because once the data reaches to the frozen bucket, you will not be able to search because data will be archived or deleted. Okay, so this is the easy understanding to explain about buckets. If you want a little more, you can actually read out and tell them the more detailed explanation, but this will give a good understanding for to any interview to get the answer. Next question we have one more scenario based question which is really important, will be asked in every interview you can expect. How will you configure index cluster master? All right, so initially you need to go to settings in the upper corner of the Splunk web, in the distributed environment group, and click index clustering. Select enable index cluster, select master node, and there are a few fields to be filled out, and you need to fill all of them. Here again you need to meet the replication factor and search factor. All right, replication factor is basically something, how many number of copies that the system determines, it is by default the number is 3, whereas a search factor is something how many number of immediately searchable copies that the system determines. Okay, you can say this sort of answer for replication and search factor. Search factor is actually by default it is 2, and again you need to have a security key, custom security key, and then cluster label, and you need to also have the click enable master node, and then finally you go to server controls. So you follow this process while you configuring the index clustering. So this will help you to understand, and this will give you answer for your interview to understand this question. All right. So the next thing, license warning. What is queue and pipeline in Splunk? License warning is basically to in case of a daily license limit is exhausted, there will be warning coming up on the search heads. Okay, that you will have exceeded a daily license volume, and you either need to upgrade your license or stop ingesting the data. Each and every user authenticated to Splunk has a limited search quota. Normal users has around 25 MB, whereas power user has around 50 to 125 MB. Okay, so once this threshold is exceeded for the particular time, user searches will start getting queued. So the queues we have index queue, parsing queue, merging queue, typing queue, indexing queue, and null queue. These are the queues that will be there in Splunk. All right, the next question, the final question as part of this video. What is a data model and pivot? Data models are hierarchical representation of data. It shows the data in a more structured and organized format, whereas pivot tables are a subset of a data model. It's an interface where users can create reports, alerts without much involvement of a Splunk language. All right, so this will answer this to this question. So you can keep it as simple as that. I hope this video will help you to understand and to learn the couple of interview questions, couple of important interview questions as part of Splunk. So I hope please let me know if you still have any questions, if you need any help as part of Splunk interview questions. Thanks for watching.